The first things first, and it's gotta be a Souls-like at least. We have Lies of P, and P as in Pinocchio, and Lies of P cause he lies, or lied. But why a Souls-like game? And why the hell does this project look so good? See, these are the questions that I've yet to receive an answer for, but as you can see, Lies of P, by the South Korean developers Round 8, is now due out for PCs and Xbox Series X and S, and also PlayStation 5 sometime in 2023. Check it out.
All these years, upkeep, maintenance, vigilance. Of course, all that means nothing when Hell's Gate starts spewing shit everywhere.
Now you all remember Evil West from a cinematic trailer, what was described as a western-themed action-adventure game? Well, we finally got our first look at its gameplay, and Jesus, who expected this? Anyways, what the matter is that if you like hack and slashers, do make sure to check out Evil West. This game is due out next year, and into all consoles and PCs except Switch. Moving on to things I personally like to talk about, Ghostwire Tokyo that came out way first 2019. The first-person horror adventure from the creators of the Evil Within games, Shinji Megami, actually one of the smartest men when it comes to inventing horror games. Ghostwire Tokyo is now coming our way early to mid next year and into the PlayStation 5 first. And even though its developer is acquired by Microsoft, the game will be coming sometime later into the PCs and Xbox Series X and S. Check it out.
Critical work. People always decry the truth when forced to face it. Still your fear. I will be her salvation.
Mari!
The time is nigh. The world rests on the precipice of transformation. A new age will dawn.
Keep on marching on. Head down to the working town. Waiting on that morning sun. Soldier, keep on marching on.
Aftermath was definitely one of the surprise announcements of 2021 that kind of blew a lot of people away when it was announced last month. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi survival horror semi-open world game, kind of, I've been led to believe. Or you know what, not a linear one to be precise, and into the PCs, basically all consoles except Switch, sometime next year, and this is how it actually looks like.
Dad!
Nice move. Now it's time to make it personal. Die!
Now on the other side of the gaming face, we have Fate of Denshant Hereafter. It's sequel to its predecessor from a few years back, Fate of Denshant, the turn-based action RPG franchise inspired by the Chinese mythology. In my opinion, I'm pretty sure a lot of regular action RPG fans heavily inspired by Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, but definitely a good clone if we're being that cruel. Check it out. This game's coming to all consoles and PCs sometime next year.
Just give him and nourish us.
Now I've been asked this a lot, so for the sake of some sort of clarification, the Gauntgrave franchise here started life as an anime idea a long time ago, which then shifted to a video game franchise and came out to the PlayStation 2 first, 2002. Now, Gauntgrave Gore, now the latest work by Igimob, which still consists the old comedy elements but at heart. I think one of the most brutal hack and slashers in the making is now headed to the PCs and all consoles except Switch sometime next year. Check it out. So moving on, we have Granblue Fantasy Relink. Back in the gaming scene finally with another trailer and the news that it'll now launch worldwide early to mid next year and into the PCs, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 only. So Granblue Fantasy Relink is an action RPG. As you can see, that's been in development for a hefty amount of time and an entire new game, not to be mistaken with Granblue Fantasy or the fighting game spin-off Granblue Fantasy Versus. Check it out.
Yes. First the iron, then the fire. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, I've mentioned this one the other day, but well, just for the sake of you all missed out on that video, we're finally giving a look at the sequel game, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 at the Game Awards, and what I like to believe one of the most realistic looking gameplays out of that event itself. Check it out. This came our way with the announcement of a release window finally of 2022 sometime and into the PCs, in addition to Xbox Series X.
But when I recall, I see it true. On a night of wintry fog, the rune of death was stolen. And the demigods began to fall.
From Software, well, came up with another Elden Ring trailer during the recent Game Awards, and it's like, I think, the closest thing to a deep dive into the lore and story kind of trailer that you're actually gonna get in 2021. Well, nothing specific to talk about, to be honest, just keep in mind this game releases February 25 and into all consoles and PCs except the Nintendo Switch. Enjoy.
The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom? And why? What could the demigods ever hope to win by warring?
Well, Dying Light 2, most of you already know, has a specific release date of February 4th next year right now. We've already seen tons of gameplay of it and a lot of reviews to go along with in the past few months. So what happened at the Game Awards is developers, to build up even more hype, came up with the game's first official cinematic trailer, in my opinion, the best cinematic trailer you're gonna watch in 2021. Check it out.
What the? Shit! You bastard!
Wait for me.
We all come to a story with hopes and expectations.
Alan Wake 2 also came our way through the Game Awards a few days back, and with a really brief trailer, from which what I did learn is that it's really early in its development stage and we've already been given a release date of 2023. But I do believe it's also going to be one of the heaviest hitters of its year, for which we're probably getting a gameplay trailer sometime next year. Take a look.
This story will eat you alive. This story is a monster.
Ever since the ancients left us, and as far as the moons remember, Adelpha has been under Atalan's care. We are the keepers of all Yod's creations. We are home!
Now look, if you do enjoy the concept of open world adventure games, not action RPGs but adventures, do make sure to keep a close eye out for Outcast 2, A New Beginning. I mean, what y'all might even already be familiar with from its predecessor as one of the most successful games out of its own kind, set 20 years after the events of the first game. Outcast 2 is in development for the PCs, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it.
So, Everwild came our way last year with the promise of an open-world adventure game and something in the same vein as The Wild, which, well, you know what, actually never got released by the PlayStation original developers, which was a huge bummer, by the way. Jesus. And well, just in case you've missed, Everwild went on to a development shutdown earlier in 2021, only with the promise to actually start from scratch. So in case you're wondering, yes, it's alive and it's being developed slowly, possibly throughout 2023. Check it out.
And in moments of stillness, it teaches us to look beyond the expected. To be a light in dark places. To seek answers. And to stand watch over our world. Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it.
The grave and let me lie.
Amicia, come! Hugo, I'm right behind you!
Asobo Studio also brought out another trailer for A Plague Tale, Requiem, and the Sam's actual gameplay. Nothing short of amazing in every single aspect, actually doubled in size in terms of the graphics, story, and the whole scale. So check this out, A Plague Tale Requiem releases possibly mid-2022 and into PCs, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and also the Nintendo Switch via the cloud service.
And the hunter home from the hill.
I don't know what's happening to me, Lucas. I feel my mind going. I know. Think of your brother. We have to carry on. Oh no.
Project Eve, on the other hand, a hack and slasher action adventure by the Korean developers Shift Up from all the way back 2019 or maybe even 18, I'm not sure, will be arriving on all leading consoles and PCs early to mid next year. And it is with the premise of a post-apocalyptic world infested with alien threats. Check it out, here's some of its actual gameplay captured on the PlayStation 5.
저희를 거두어 주시고 저희를 유혹에 빠지지 않게 하소서. 지하 시설, 방공호 같은 건가?
여긴 지하철역이야. 사람들을 태우고 거미줄처럼 도시를 누비던 교통수단이지. 뭐 다 지난 얘기지만 말이야. 잠깐이. 네이티브가 시체에 기생하고 있다니. 매복이야! 그날 이후 지성의 도시들은 모두 예비처럼 폐허가 됐어. 잘나신 분들은 우주로 달아나고 나가는 놈들은 이곳에 버려졌지.
Who are you, child? My name is Frey Holland. I do not know how I got here. And all I want is to go home.
We have Forspoken, on the other hand, previously titled Project Athia, that is also no longer a PlayStation 5 exclusive and also heading to PCs on May 24th next year. Now this specific release date also comes with the announcement of a new gameplay trailer and a bit of a story to build upon release. Check it out. Forspoken by Square Enix is an action RPG, semi-open world hack and slasher.
It is you who trespassed on my land. You who set this battle in motion.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Lies! She dies!
True to Charles is without a doubt right now one of the most known projects in the making out of an indie developer. It's actually the work of a single creator with the premise of a survival horror open world game for which is actually constantly coming up with more trailers, and here's another one for True to Charles in case you're hyped about. This time with the words that it might come out early next year and into the PCs only. Check it out. And we also found out about Sniper Elite 5, which received an announcement trailer at the Game Awards, to which I'd like to add the previous game in its series, Sniper Elite 4, was already an almost perfect game, and if you ask, based on what I've heard, is that Sniper Elite 5 is an evolution of that entire entry and the franchise as a whole, with an all-new campaign and added new elements. Check it out. This game is due out possibly early next year.
What happens next could change the course of the war.
We have Sons of the Forests, which is actually one of the most anticipated survival horror open world games in the making, but in my book it actually comes right after the long anticipated Dying Light 2, which I can't wait anymore to have hands on, and this is coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and also PC's No Next Generation, all of which happening May 20th next year. Check it out. To accompany the release date specifically no more than a couple weeks back, they even came up with another trailer. Take a look. It's actually a really good one.
Get down, son! I've heard stories about you. I know you've been a rock hopper, so you survived the crushing black of space.
And last but not least, we have The Expanse, another game from the Telltale series that's been in the making for quite a while apparently, touted as a sci-fi mystery visual novel-ish kind of experience. You know how Telltale games work. It's actually based on a TV show with the same name I've been too miserable to hear more about for the past months, but yeah, here. This one's coming to all consoles and PCs, Switch, sometime next year.
I've heard quite a bit about you, Kamina Drummer. It's hard to tell if it's all true, though.
Truth is truth. How you deal with it is up to you, Boss Man.